Now we're getting our introductory into trigonometry, and we're dealing with sine, cosine, and tangent. And these are very unique to right triangles. This is my attempt at drawing a right triangle. This little box in here indicates this is a 90-degree angle. It is the best I can do at the moment. So when we're dealing with this one, the big thing that we need to remember is our SOHCAHTOA. So is, if it's sine, it's opposite over hypotenuse. If it's cosine, this is our C, COA, it's adjacent over hypotenuse. And the T is for tangent. That's tangent is the opposite over adjacent. So if we can just remember that ratio, that's what we're looking at here. So let's say on this one, if I asked you, what was the sine of C? So we have to look here, and we're dealing with our C here. Our C now, our sine is opposite over hypotenuse. It's a C, this is the one that's right next to it, that's the adjacent. The opposite would be 10 over 26. Our hypotenuse is 26. Remember, hypotenuse is always the one that's on the opposite side of this little square here, if you will. Okay, so opposite over hypotenuse, that would be 10 over 26. So 10 over 26. Now remember, you always have to reduce your fractions. That would be 5 over 13. And that's your answer on that one. Okay, now let's say if I asked you for, and we can stay on the same one if you'd like. We can, but this time let's go with cosine. The cosine of C, and our cosine is our adjacent over a hypotenuse, and adjacent would be the 24 over the 26. So we'll do that. 24 over 26, which would be 12/13. And then our tangent, TOA, would be opposite over adjacent. So again, we're going to stay with our C. We'll just go the tangent of C. And this one we're looking for the opposite. The opposite side would be down here over the adjacent. So it would be 10 over 24. And again, we've got to reduce that one. It would be 5/12. Now on all of these I chose C only to have the same point of reference, if you will. But I could ask you any of those. For instance, I could ask you B. If I asked you for the cosine of B, so here's my B, this is my angle of B. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, that would be 10 over 26. So that would give me 10 divided by 26. And I always have to reduce, that would be 5/13. And that would be my answer on that particular one. Okay, and I can ask any of those. I can just revert back and I go tangent of B, and I again look at my ratio here. Tangent is opposite over adjacent. So this is my B. The opposite in this case is going to be 24, and the adjacent would be 10. So this would be 24 over 10. And again, we have to reduce. That would be 12/5. And you could leave it as 12/5 if you would like. You can write it as a mixed number. As a mixed number, it would be 2 and 2/5. You could also write it as a decimal if you wanted to. That would be 2.4. So any of those really work just fine. I'll accept any of those answers, but that's just kind of an introductory into trigonometry. The big thing that we've got to remember here is SOHCAHTOA. And that's sine is opposite over hypotenuse, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent is opposite over adjacent.